And good evening, everyone. The time is exactly 6:31, and today is Thursday, July 8th, and we are convening for our Clearly College Park general meeting. And I am Jamel McKenzie, the chair of BIDA. And at this time, what I'd like to do is for us to have roll call, all BIDA members, if you would introduce yourselves, and then we will go ahead with any of our staff or visitors that we have attending today.
All right, I am Demetrius Taylor, Vice Chair, representing Ward 2.
I'm Leslie Zen, Secretary Treasurer, BIDA.
Good evening, all. My name is Eleanor Cornelius, representing Ward 4.
Good evening.
My name is.
Sorry, Dr. Cadis, go ahead.
No. My name is Anita Brown Cadis, representing Ward 3.
Bianca Motley Broom, Mayor.
Eric Taylor, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mercedes Miller, Interim City Manager for the great city of College Park.
Artie Jones, Executive Director of Clearly College Park.
Tasha Hall Garrison, Community Development Administrator and Assistant Secretary Treasurer of Clearly College Park.
Hi, I'm Renee Coakley. I'm the Main Street Manager for the City of College Park.
I'm Denise Cole, Interim Executive Director, GICC, Gateway Center Arena, and College Park Golf Course.
Ken Lee, Attorney for BIDA.
Ken Allen, Councilman, Ward 3, just listening.
Nikki Washington, City Planning for College Park.
Ambrose Clay, Councilman, Ward 1, also just listening.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, if I may, we do have a quorum here, but no city business is being held or discussed in regard to the council, and no votes are being taken.
Exactly. I was going to say that. So we're happy to have our council here today. Is there anyone else that didn't have a chance that we didn't hear from? Okay, well, this time what we're going to do is we have two sets of minutes that we want to look at today. So we'll start off with our June 10th minutes, and I'd like to see if there's anybody if there are any corrections that need to be made to our June 10th meeting. So
I didn't see any, Madam Chair.
Yeah, I didn't either, but sometimes, a few sets of eyes, something.
Yeah, better than, yeah.
Something someone else has seen that they said. We don't remember what they said. Okay. Okay, so at this time, can we entertain a motion from the floor to accept and adopt the minutes from the June 10th, 2021 meeting?
So moved.
All right. Second?
Second.
All right, Cornelius. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right.
Aye.
All righty, well, then we have it. And so now item B under the review and approval of our minutes are the minutes from our special call meeting, which was held on June 18th. So at this time, if there are any corrections that need to be made to those, please let it be known.
I didn't see any corrections.
Okay.
So moved.
All righty. Those in favor? I mean, second, I'm sorry about that.
I'll second.
All right, and those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Okay. Item 3 on our agenda for today is any additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda. Does anyone have any? I do have a couple of additions, but are there anything from the board or from our? Okay, so I'd like to add on to this meeting BIDA stipend, to discuss the stipend for BIDA, because that was a pretty hot topic last week. And then also Clearly College Park Awards, annual awards banquet. So I guess I would ask Attorney Lee, where would we add that in? Would that be put under other issues or new business?
Just anywhere. I think the next item, B, under 7.
Be under 7. Okay, so we'll add the under 7 BIDA stipend. And then item C under 7 would be Clearly College Park Annual Awards Banquet. Okay. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion from the floor as for this additions to the, I believe I do need to take a vote, right, for additions? Do we need to vote on that?
I think so.
Okay, so I'd like to entertain a motion on the floor to add items B and C to 7, the BIDA stipend and Clearly College Park Awards Banquet.
So moved.
All right, second.
I'll second.
All righty, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed on that one? Okay, so pretty much today's meeting is kind of a general housekeeping meeting. I was asked by the executive director, since we really didn't have that much to discuss, if we would continue to have a meeting, but I felt that the chair felt that it was a good time for us to discuss some things internally. So at this time, we're going to go into our new business, and we will start off with the GICC update.
Good evening. Last month for the GICC, the vaccine location officially closed on June 26th. We were very happy that we had the opportunity to host that event from February through June. We also hosted the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport Career Fair, and we had a major trade show for us. We had the Atlanta Pet Fair trade show, and it was a 3-day trade show at the convention center. And we also hosted Showstoppers dance competition. And for the Gateway Arena, we had 6 home games for the Atlanta Dream. And also over at the College Park Golf Course, they had a club fitting and demo day. Are there any questions?
Denise, do we know how many people that came through for vaccines? Do we have a total number that College Park was able to vaccinate?
Unfortunately, I do not have those final numbers, but that is something that I can obtain.
All right, thank you.
It's just good to see the GICC up and running and events being scheduled. And I personally am excited about our citywide event that's going to happen there at the end of this month, and very grateful that we're able to, that the GICC has been, is going to host it for us. So thank you, Denise. If there aren't any other questions for Denise, we're going to move on to our economic development reports.
Good evening again, everyone. The report for the Main Street and Virginia Avenue Business District is as follows. For the month of June, we had 3 new businesses and 1 set of apartments that changed ownership. And in the works, I still left that on. ATL, which is a new restaurant that's coming to College Street, will be opening in the next couple of weeks. They're still finishing up some last touches to that building. If you have not been on College Street to see what they've done to that area, it looks amazing. They put the trees back on one side of the building. They totally cleared out that area, and they're putting an outdoor patio. So they're doing a lot of work to that building, and the entire building face has been painted. So it looks really good over there. So I'm looking forward to them opening. 3841 Main Street, formerly Urban Foodie Feed Store, is still in works and construction. That will be a dental office. And 3727 Main Street, you may have seen the open light on, but they're not open yet. The 1st of August, they are planning to have their opening then. So Milk and Cheese is the name, and they're partnering with another restaurant, and it's going to be great. They put some 80s themed items in there, and it looks amazing, and they're doing a really great job. So hoping they're very successful as well. For the month of June, we had 2 ribbon cuttings. ATL, they wanted to do a ribbon cutting / block party for Juneteenth. And although we had a little bit of rain that day, it still was a success. We had a ribbon cutting, and like I said, they should be opening very soon, and they're excited to be in College Park. So we're looking forward to them opening as well. And then also the Breakfast Boys on the north end of Main Street, they had their ribbon cutting in June as well, and it was a huge turnout, but a great success, and they're doing well. And Mr. Demetrius talked about 2 of their dishes that they have. So if you haven't been there, you're missing a treat.
Okay.
Slide. For our business spotlight this month, I chose to highlight Zuby's Taco Kitchen on Virginia Avenue. They have an eclectic array of tacos, and if you haven't tried them out yet, I would urge you to do so. Next slide. If you haven't heard yet, Wi-Fi is coming to Main Street. We had a meeting. The IT director, myself, and Comcast, we met with their team about a week or so ago, and fiber installation will begin soon. It was supposed to start this week, but because due to weather and all that stuff, it kind of put things on a slowdown. So hopefully next week or the week after, they will begin installing fiber down Main Street, and we will alert each business as they do each block. So that's gonna happen. We will have a total of 12 points on Main Street. 8 will be access points, and 4 of them will be people counters. So with those people counters, we will be able to know how many people are going to the Breakfast Boys and to Nouveau and all these places, as well as they'll be able to read license plate tags and do a whole lot of other smart city things. And we're so excited to be having this coming to Main Street. Businesses will be able to log on to the web, to the Wi-Fi, and it will draw them to the city's website so that they can know what events are happening or what specials the restaurants are having, those kind of things. So we're still working all that out, but it'll be a great addition for Main Street. Next slide. An update on the College Parklet. We will have delivery tomorrow of all the supplies for the Parklet. The umbrellas were delivered. We had the umbrellas that were donated by Woodward Academy, and they were delivered today. We will be ordering the furniture on next week, and we will have the pavers and all the hardware delivered on tomorrow for the Parklet itself. So installation will begin on July 19th. So excited about that. We're putting a team together, a crew together to make that happen, and looking forward to a ribbon cutting probably the first week in August. The restaurants are purchasing their own furniture. Johnny's will have red chairs, Virgil's will have blue, and the Real Milk and Honey will have yellow chairs, but all of the tables will look the same. Each restaurant will have 3 of the taller tables, which will be 4 tops, and then 6 of the 2 tops. And so that's how it's spaced out for the section. And then all the way to the left, the Harvard bump out corner area will have 2 highboy seating 2 areas for patrons of the tea shop and Milk and Cheese and that other restaurant and the Forum. All their patrons, as well as other visitors to Main Street, will be able to freely access that area of the Parklet as well. So it will not just be for the restaurants, it will be for everybody to enjoy outdoor dining.
So if you go to a different restaurant than the 3 you mentioned, you can bring your food over to the Parklet and just—
That is correct. So the 3, where the colored seats are, there will be signage delineating those areas for those 3 restaurants, but there will be another area where you can pick up food from Hattie Marie's, or you can pick up food from Nouveau, or you can get a tea at the tea shop and sit out and have those items there. So yes. Okay. And on this slide, I just wanted to make everyone aware of a certification that I received on last month. It was a very rigorous certification. It is a 3-level, and I was awarded level 1. And so I just wanted to make BIDA aware of it. It was sent out to mayor and city manager, but they will do a presentation at the Georgia Downtown Conference in August. And so just wanted to make everyone aware of that. And then on the next slide, the CPMSA monthly board meeting will be July 14th, not the 19th, at 3 p.m. And this meeting will be virtual, but it is on our agenda to discuss whether we'll move forward with in-person meetings for August. And we'll know more at that time. And I discussed the information for the park. Like I said, the installation will be on the 19th, and we're looking to do a ribbon cutting in August, the first week of August. So are there any questions?
Congratulations, Renee.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
No questions, but all I'm gonna say is work, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep up the great work, Renee, and
Thank
again,
you.
congratulations on the downtown conference certification.
Thank you so much. I do want to make one more announcement. Mr. Demetrius reminded me when he spoke, but we will be having our first portion of the installation of the mural on this Saturday. Fingers crossed that the weather holds out for us, but starting at 8 a.m. And I have a volunteer. We have a lot of volunteers who signed up. And I'm so thankful for everyone that's participated in this entire lengthy process, but we were on our way to having a mural installed on that wall. So this will be the first step towards doing so. And feel free to come out. The muralist hopefully will start his portion on Monday next week. And so he's inviting people to come out and watch him paint as he does the installation. So feel free, anytime you're riding by, if you see that happening, stop by and have a conversation with them or take some pictures or whatever, because this is a monumentous occasion for College Park, and I'm excited for it.
Where's the mural, Renee?
So the south end of Main Street, right next to 3907 Main Street, the former Enterprise, there's that long retaining wall that belongs to Park and Fly right on the corner of Main and Lee. You're gonna make that right to go to Camp Creek. That long wall right there is where the mural will be.
Leslie, we're trying to keep up with Arden's Garden further up Main Street. You know, that place where they have all that beautiful, yeah. When Leslie asked, I just had to say that. Okay. We're just trying. We're following your lead. Okay. Thank you, Renee. And at this time, we'll continue with Tasha.
Thank you. So for the month of June, the Old National area had 19 new businesses. I do want to reference one of our new businesses, which is Banana Pudding Cafe, because it has caused a lot of debate in City Hall on the hot versus the cold banana puddings. So if you are a banana pudding lover, feel free to check them out and, be able to give us your opinion on your favorite types of banana pudding. The next slide. All right, so I wanted to combine some of the South Side as far as and economic development updates. I did want to thank, as far as Councilman Clay, as well as Mayor Motley Broom, Councilman Allen, Jamil, as well as Anita, for visiting and doing the Old National Walk with us. I will say that they walked me farther than I usually walk, but it was a very good tour. I will be offering these as far as throughout the upcoming months and as it gets cooler, just to continue it. But I did want to thank everyone for joining. As well as next month, we will be beginning as well our apartment managers meeting. It was something that was previously done through the police department, but we want to really bring in owners as well as property managers in really just informing them about the importance of property management and upkeep in the city of College Park. So we will be beginning that quarterly meetings beginning in August. Another thing I wanted to reference as well is we did complete our comprehensive planning stakeholders meeting. I also want to reference Madam Chair. She is a part of that committee, and it was really great conversations regarding the future development and plans of the city, specifically targeting housing and transportation options for College Park. Another project that is continuing to grow and get a lot of traction is the Finding the Flint. We are doing or really beginning the community outreach. I actually just got word from MARTA that we have permission to access the site tomorrow. So we are doing a mini charrette for our Woodward Academy Horizon Summer Camp. The students have been gathering water from the Flint River, and we are now allowing them to go to the site so that they can provide us imaging and options of what they would like to see it developed as, which we would like to include in our community input portion. Another opportunity we have coming up is actually a community charrette, which has been, we are planning for July the 21st. There will be a staff stakeholders meeting at 3 p.m., but there also will be a community charrette at 6 p.m. I am finalizing the location now, so I will have more information on that coming up. And then lastly, we do have an upcoming home buyers panel. It will be taking place this Saturday at 10 a.m. It is for employees because City of College Park so graciously has brought back the down payment assistance program for the employees. So we just wanted to provide them an update of the current market, as well as to give them more information on home ownership and the home buying process, specifically as it relates to College Park. Next slide. And then also on the last Thursday of each month, they do hold the Old National Merchants Association meetings. I do want to commend Councilman Allen for his great presentation he gave last month, as well as Councilman Taylor and Member Cornelius for attending. It was a great meeting, and we will look forward to more in-person meetings coming throughout the corridor. Are there any questions as related to the South Side or any of the ECDEV updates?
What's a charrette?
A charrette, it basically is a design session. It's more of an interactive design session. So we'll have a portion, my plan is for residents and visitors to be able to walk the property, and then for us to come back and on the maps of the property, be able to say what type of features we may want to have, such as walking trails or edible gardens, or maybe more interactive river features, and be able to place it on the map so we can actually see what is wanted and where it's desired on the property.
Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Any other questions for Tasha? Tasha, as I'm listening to these reports, I'm saying we are doing a lot of stuff in College Park. But I want to really thank you for the, the corridor, the Old National Corridor walk, and it was hot too. And you've done it more than one time. We walked a long distance. Really grateful that we had a van waiting for us and we didn't have to walk all the way back. But it was eye-opening. It's nothing like, you can talk about a place, but, being there just kind of, and I'm on a soapbox now as a result of being there. But I want to thank you for taking this time to give us this much needed experience. So thank you again. Thank you, and Renee, for your reports. And now at this time, the director's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, have a few updates. 2101 Convention Center Concourse. This is the lot next to the Spring Hill Suites at the Gateway Center. This lot was sold to Atlantic Hotel Group. I'm pleased to announce that they have received their LDP, their land disturbance permit, and they will begin grading work on the site for the dual brand hotel, which would be a Home 2 Suites, and also is it a loft, I believe, is the hotel, maybe. But that's good news. If you can remember, they're the group that asked for a 1-year extension on receiving their land disturbance permit, because that was right in the middle of COVID when hotel occupancy was, between 10 and 15%. So we graciously allowed those hotels to delay construction. There's another dual brand hotel and a loft and a Residence Inn at the Gateway Center that's going to be locating right behind, I guess, BMW and the SkyTrain Way. Right now, they're very close to getting their land disturbance permit also, but they're trying to get a parking encroachment agreement underneath the SkyTrain route. They want to put some parking underneath that route, and I believe at this point that the City of College Park Development Authority, BIDA, actually has the right to the encroachment and not necessarily the business or the developer that we sold it to. So we're working through some logistics right now and finding out if those encroachment rights can be, passed on to the developer, or do we need to, have some type of arrangement with the City of Atlanta Department of Aviation as far as that's concerned. Right now, we have 100% of the designs completed for the Road Street development, Road Street, which is the north-south artery into the 6 West development from Camp Creek, and also 100% of the Camp Creek tributary bridge, which is a part of Road Street, that has also been completed. Right now, we're working on getting additional data and information from the IT department from the City of College Park for the smart technology that will also be incorporated into that major infrastructure, and also getting information from the College Park power department on light placement and light design, the types of lights to be located in that particular area. We're going to go ahead and put in additional conduit for fiber and future fiber within the development. And then, of course, the brownfield grant funding, charrette, I believe Tasha talked about that. She touched on that Wednesday, July 21st at 6:00 p.m. That's when the general public can meet and talk about the Finding the Flint project and goals for that particular site with design professionals. And it's a very interactive, great experience that everybody can take part in. And I want you to know that, it's been a pretty rough 15 months due to COVID, especially when you're trying to do economic development, when all the money dries up. But things, I believe, are rebounding, and it's rebounding a lot faster than any professionals, any economists had dreamed. They looked at us getting back to pre-COVID, occupancy rates for hotels and also flights by 2025, and they were looking at early, 2025. Right now, the trajectory is shooting straight up. We were at approximately about 2,200 flights per day. Pre-COVID, we were at 2,700 flights per day. In the middle of COVID, when we were probably at 50 to 75 flights per day. So you can see that we have really bounced back. The difficult thing right now with the airlines is that they really feel that we could actually be at 2,700 flights. The problem is we don't have the pilots. A lot of the pilots had to find other types of employment during this period of time, and also certifications and things of that nature. A lot of that just stopped due to COVID, because you couldn't necessarily be, in close proximity to others due to COVID. If you look back at hotel occupancies, we have, during the middle of COVID or prior to COVID, hotel occupancy in College Park from year to year was anywhere between 89% and 91%, which is excellent, which is very, very good. When COVID hit, occupancy levels for hotels went down to 10 to 15%, super low. But in March, hotel occupancy was at approximately 55%. In April, it was basically at 59%. And right now it is probably, and right now being the numbers for June, which are not out now, I feel that we're probably somewhere at 60%. Occupancy levels have been rising somewhere between 4 to 6% each month. It's slowing down a little bit, but I believe that with summer travel, it's really going to shoot up, and we're going to see hotel motel occupancies up significantly. Also, economic development for the city of College Park. Economic development is growing. I would like to bring to everyone's attention, there will be a press release that will be released on tomorrow, and Tasha has kind of alluded to it in her new title. She has been promoted to the position of the Community Development Administrator in the Economic Development Department. Tasha has grown a great deal since she's come here to the city of College Park. She had absolutely no government experience when she got here. She started in June 2015 as the Economic Development Program Assistant, which was pretty much administrative assistant and do anything that AJ didn't have time to do. Well, since then, she has grown, and she was promoted to the Economic Development Program Manager, which she was responsible for the south side of College Park, being Old National Highway, Godby Road, and of course, anything else that Artie could not do himself. Now, being the Community Development Administrator, she's going to be responsible for community development activities, which includes quality of life type aspects, being making sure that people are trained and ready for jobs whenever we create new jobs in College Park, making sure that people have clean, decent housing. And she's also going to be over grants administration for non-infrastructure type grants. What that means is, you may have heard of Jackson Myers. He's always the one that's going out getting the big money for roads, streets, and stuff that you can touch. But Tasha is the one that's going to be going out for the grants for the quality of life aspects, being non-infrastructure grants, which includes the Brownfield grant or the USDA grant that she secured for the urban farm on Main Street, and almost $2.8 million that she secured in grant funds from the Brownfield program through the EPA. And she's also over the new title is Code Compliance Officers, not code enforcement, but code compliance officers, which there are 4 of them. That's also under economic development. So she's a very busy person. You're probably going to be seeing less and less of her in the capacity in BIDA. We will be, right now, Sabretha Beasley, my administrative assistant, is actually being trained along with BIDA. She's at home. She's not on the call right now, but she is at home on Facebook Live, and she's taking notes. So I just wanted to congratulate her publicly in this forum, and I'm here to address any questions that you guys might have. Thank you.
Artie, I have one. First of all, congratulations, Tasha. You deserve it. You've done a lot of work for economic development, and we appreciate it. But Artie, I wanted to know about the Savannah conference. Will that be taking place?
At this time, I have not received any documentation on it. I'm thinking that it probably will happen. Okay. I've received my first flyer for the International Economic Development Annual Conference, and I'm seeing that a lot more conferences are coming back online. So okay. I think it's a real good possibility that it will come back, but haven't received words yet. But I can probably call and get word and shoot an email out to everyone to let you know. They just may not have put any information out on it yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're talking about the JIDA conference, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you, Artie, for this report and all this great news about Tasha. We're gonna need 2 Tashas. It's a lot of work, but she can handle it. So congratulations again to Tasha, and thank you, Artie, for sharing the director's report. So if there aren't any further questions, we are going to move on to the 3 items that we have under other issues today. And as I said at the beginning of the meeting, this meeting today, basically, since we don't have any, executive session, we're basically going to be discussing some housekeeping areas. We have several new members on the board, and just thought this would be a good time to just share some information with you and to get us all on the same page. And so the first item that we have under item A is the BIDA attorney contract. And the purpose of you receiving this contract today, or actually last week in your packet, was just so that you could be aware of what our BIDA attorneys does, but also our BIDA attorney contract was drawn up in 2018. And we just wanted to have another chance to look at it and see if there's any areas of revision. So this is not about our attorney. is about the contract. So just if there's, as you had a chance to peruse it, if there are any questions that you have concerning what our attorney does, this is a time to do. And like I said, it's not towards Dan Lee, it's about just the contract itself. Okay, so does anybody have any questions once you went through that, or anything that we think that we may want to add in? Of course, we'd have to talk to our attorney as well about that. But anything else did you see, or any questions on that? I did want to also, one thing that I wanted to mention, which is in section 6 of the contract, item 4. Our attorney has made himself available to all members of the board. However, the preference is if you have a question that you think may involve our attorney, that you would first bring that to the executive director or the chair. Dan's not going to turn you down if you call him, but that is a part of our billable hours. So if there's something that we can do, or that Artie can do, or give you an answer before you actually call Dan, we're just requesting that. But Dan's not requesting that, but we are. So, and that was section 6, item 4, that he will provide telephone consultations and advise the BIDA board of directors and the BIDA executive director. So, all right. So that was just, the purpose of that was just FYI, so that we can, because we do have time to time that our attorney is here and he's writing statements and we can understand where he's coming from. So if there aren't any questions, this wasn't an item for us to vote on. I will just move on. Are there any comments?
None from me.
Okay.
None.
So, all righty. So let's move on to item B under a discussion of the stipend, because that came up last week. So I do have a statement that I want to read real quickly, because again, I think it's important that we refresh some of, like I said, most of the majority of our members that are here today were not on the board either this time last year, or many came on during 2020. So I wanted to kind of give you a little understanding of what has been happening for those of us that have been here. So recently, the issue of whether it is legal for the College Park Business Industrial Development Authority to receive stipends from the city has come up. And this issue has been eloquently clarified by our BIDA attorney to be legal according to the manner in which the stipend has been incepted and executed by the city of College Park for the past probably 18 years or so. And the per meeting stipend that all board members of the College Park Business Industrial Development Authority receive was instituted at that time by the members of the City of College Park Council as a token of goodwill and appreciation for board members for all city boards. So when BIDA received a stipend as a result of the city council coming together and saying, we're going to give all the boards in our city a stipend. And so it was never intended to be a payment, and I know it kind of came up, but it was never a payment for our services, because if it had been, we would have been considered employees and not volunteers. It's simply a stipend. And the another issue has come up was whether or not other authorities in Georgia are receiving stipends like we do, but that's actually irrelevant in the fact that the city of College Park is not like any city in Georgia, nor is it our desire to be like other cities. We are uniquely known for our diversity, our inclusion, our friendliness, and most of all, we're the hospitality capital of Georgia. And our city is a reflection of the people in it. Who we are and what we do makes our city what it is. It is my position as the chair that this stipend is simply a demonstration of the city practicing what we preach with one another. As the saying goes, charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. Our demonstration of kindness to our own citizens builds the foundation on which we can genuinely be hospitable to others. Myself as the owner of a nonprofit, actually I own a for-profit venture and a couple of nonprofits I'm the chief executive officer for. And it's always been my distinct determination to tangibly express appreciation to every individual who volunteers with our different corporations. And we are intentional about making sure that the people who freely give of their time and service to our projects feel appreciated and valued for their labor of goodwill. Likewise, as the chairman of this essential authority, which is composed of some of the most outstanding, committed, concerned voting citizens of our city who spend hours reviewing documents, attending meetings, making site visits, and conducting the business of ensuring the continued prosperity of our city, I totally object to any stripping away or removing of a kindness that was implemented and legally confirmed towards the members of our board. On Thursday, March 14th, 2019, this board discussed and evaluated the current stipend of $50 and agreed to increase the member stipend to $75 per meeting upon the review of City Council. The persons who were present during this particular meeting in 2019 were Eleanor Cornelius, who was the chair at the time, Vice Chair Demetrius Taylor, myself, who was Secretary Treasurer, and then our former members, Sabrina Willis, Aaron Arnold, Mayor Jack Longino, Mayor Pro Tem Tracy Wyatt, our Attorney Dan Lee, and Councilman Derek Taylor. And then we had our staff were present. The stipend increase at this time that we made on the 14th of 2019, March 14th, 2019, was implemented in 2019. So BIDA members actually received an increase in that particular year. However, in 2020, due to factors such as the budget crisis, which came on from COVID, and the absence of a record of the council actually approving the said increase, which is in our minutes, but it never made it to council, our stipend was amended to a $50 per month rather than a per meeting. And I've been informed by our council that this board can pass a formal resolution on this matter if we choose to do so. And let us be reminded that this stipend is neither a salary to compensate us for our efforts, nor is it a per diem. It is a fixed amount established to say thank you for those hours we have spent. And board members who do not feel like they should receive this stipend, you're welcome to donate your stipend to a great cause within our great city. But please, let us not entertain even the thought of revoking an act of appreciation. If not for ourselves individually, you may not want it, but if you get rid of it, somebody else who comes in your shoes and becomes a BIDA board member in the future, you're cutting them off. So as we make our decisions, even about ourselves, we have to think of more than ourselves, but let us think of those that come after us. And so that's my statement regarding the stipend. I'd like to hear from other board members. The floor is open for discussion. Okay, if there's no discussion, then the purpose of that was just to give you information so you would know the history of how the stipends came into being and why they are even now still continuing to be carried out. Okay, so item C, which is the Clearly College Park Annual Awards Banquet. Prior to 2020, we have been hosting a banquet at the end in December of every year. And again, new BIDA board members may not be aware of this. We've had the purpose of this awards ceremony was, I guess at the end of the year, is a celebration for us, but most important, the mission was to be able to, congratulate and recognize businesses in the area that had done something that we considered was commendable in the city during the year. Last year, we did not do much. And actually, by the time we came up, decided to do something, it was a little late. And we were able to put, Tasha gracefully was able to put together a survey, and we were able to have that survey circulate, not just with the BIDA board members, but throughout the city, to find out in the different categories which businesses would be nominated for this award. What we have done in the past is the award itself was actually a very nice trophy type of plaque, whatever you want to call it, plaque trophy. We had an elaborate dinner, a speaker. In fact, the cost of this event, when I spoke to our executive director, was running us about $55,000 to $70,000 a year, and that does not include what the GICC donated, because the GICC did not charge us for the usage of the space. However, we paid for everything else. And so, of course, last year, that wasn't even a thought because we weren't meeting in person. We didn't have, we were trying to hold on to funding. And so what I discussed with Artie was that I wanted to bring this up to us as a board so we could begin to start thinking about what it is that we would like to do coming up this December. I know that we don't have $55,000 to $70,000 to spend, but I'd like to hear from the board regarding whether we want to even entertain something, maybe even a reception or something to, the reason why it's so important that we do something, in my opinion, for our businesses is because, especially with COVID, any business that can survive and even thrive, give back to the community during these tough and difficult times is worthy of, being say another thank you. We appreciate you, because without the businesses in College Park, we rely on those businesses. We want them to do well. We want them to grow. We want them to be patronized. And so it also becomes a little bit of advertising for the businesses themselves, but it also helps those business owners who kind of really worked really, hard during the year to say, we see you, we appreciate you. So I'm gonna open up the floor again, and let's see if anybody has anything. You all have been mighty quiet, which is fine.
Madam Chair, now that you say like a reception of some kind, and we're trying to be as cost effective as possible. I know we underutilize the College Park Auditorium. Okay. And this is just off the cuff. I've not thought this out. I'm just talking because it just hit me like right now. But I know, coming from Detroit, I know usually in the summertime they have what was called the Taste Fests, where each restaurant would come out and would have little sample size or hors d'oeuvre sizes of their popular menus and popular items on their menus. But perhaps, this could be a way for us to celebrate our businesses by having something like that in the auditorium. A walkthrough, that way each business can bring a little sampling of a popular dish so we can appreciate them, to open up to everyone else that's there. It could be a walk around kind of thing. We can also have an awards presentation there if possible, maybe certificates or something. That's just off the cuff because I like the idea of a reception to where we get our businesses, involved. But here's another idea, again, off the cuff. And we can look at something over on Virginia Avenue, because oftentimes everything is always over here on Main Street, to where the Virginia Avenue businesses, may feel left out. And we could go on that side of College Park and do something over there, from time to time. I know, no, I don't. I was over there just recently. And I think we have some spaces over there that could possibly be utilized for such an event. I'm not sure we have another auditorium-like place over there, but something on that side where the Virginia Avenue can feel they have the home advantage, if you will. Just to look into that to see what can be done. We're talking about the end of the year, so the weather may not be as likable as as it is now, but it's just something that we'll say we appreciate them, and actually we owe our survival to the businesses. So yeah.
Thank you, Demetrius. Anyone else have any ideas or input on that? And again, I know we still have to, whatever we do is going to come down to budget, and but it's just something to kind of throw out there and begin to, like I said, even if it's only to give them the certificates or a plaque, to begin planning early so that we can present them to them in December. Anyone else have any ideas or any thoughts on this?
I don't have any ideas at this time, but I do think we need to do something to show our appreciation to our people or the community who's given back. So I really like what you said, Demetrius, about the auditorium. That would be a different venue and probably wouldn't be so cost effective to use that venue. So I like that idea.
Or even perhaps the Brady Center. You know, we have the Brady Center, we have Conley.
Yeah.
We have those centers that are afforded to us that I think would be most cost effective if utilized properly. And the idea of the Taste Fest gives us an opportunity for the businesses to accrue the cost, and they could use that as a tax write-off. And then it won't be so much on the city to have to come up with those funds. If they can supply that, that would be, I think, would be a win-win kind of thing. Maybe a little. Now I'm thinking about maybe a little gauche. Well, we're going to award you, but we want you to cater. That may be. That may be. Now think about it, that may be a little that way. But
right.
Like I said,
I didn't say anything, but
I'm flushing that out as I say, it's on the cuff. So as I'm talking,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put it together so that as an idea.
Yeah.
But some kind of gathering. Leslie, did you have something?
I have some questions.
Sure.
How many people attended the last event?
Artie, can you answer that? Or Tasha?
The attendance at these events ranged anywhere from 230 to 300 people.
Right.
And how many businesses were honored?
I believe that there were 7 or 8 categories that were actually honored.
Does that mean 7 or 8 businesses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Each year, yes. And Tasha, could you provide those titles to Leslie so that she gets an idea of what they those categories are?
Sure. Do you want me to provide it in email or just go over it now?
Just go over it now. Just name some of them off so she's aware.
Sure. So we had Main Street Business of the Year. We had Southside Corridor Business of the Year. We had Legacy, which would be for businesses that have been in the city for 20 more years. We had Best New Business for businesses that have been here, I think, under 5 years. We had
Airport.
And then we also had Developer of the Year for new developers coming in or new business owners.
Okay.
So.
Well,
And I like the idea. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anita.
I was saying I kind of like the idea of combining. Everybody likes a little competition, and maybe we could have our tasters, the public, kind of vote, and
I like that. Oh, that's nice.
Give a little energy to it, and still use a lot of those same categories and bring people out, and that way we combine both aspects.
Right.
But that is also, now the thing with that is that's limiting us to the restaurant industry. So
This is true. This is true.
And we don't really have a restaurant of the year. We have, it's a new business or it's a business that's been there
true.
For a while. So, but it could be done. It could be done, just if you wanted to, in the restaurant category, go there. But I think that's a great, Leslie, I wanted to give you a chance to continue with what your thought.
Well, I have 2 thoughts. I think on one hand, it's super nice to recognize the businesses. So, to do something small, would be, I think it would be a nice thing. But as a business owner, it's far more important to me that my taxes are lower.
We'll have to talk to city council and some other people about that, or the state, the government, whatever. Yeah.
Well, if we keep our cost, I threw an employee appreciation party at our plant for 150 people with, a bunch of not rides, but like jumpy things. And it was a family day, and I did it for $8,000. So
Yeah, and that's what I'm always doing different events, and I know that we can do something and we don't have to spend so much money again, even at the same venue. It's just that we did so much at, the GICC did not charge us. So it's not like we have to, well, I'm not saying I can't, I'm just speaking circumstantially that we would have to change our venue, but it's how we would make use of that space, what we would do. You can't have a reception with alcoholic beverages and, full course meal, and then the lights, camera, the lighting. So these are the areas where we need to be looking at, but something could be done. I even mentioned to Artie a virtual event. I just would like to just do something more than what we did last year. And last year was just because we just kind of scampered at the last minute. But if we start now, and I was also told that if you're going to have a big event anyway, it takes a year to 2 years to plan it. So there's no way we could even think about doing something ginormous, but we could consider, something that was cost effective, working with our executive director. So what I would like to just suggest is that maybe even Demetrius, would you be interested in Anita or I don't in working with us on this, since you all were pretty, I know, and anyone, that we could actually have a call. We can't, only a couple of us could do this, to just start talking about what we want to do.
Sure.
Start, looking at that. So perhaps we could just move with that. Nothing that needed a vote. Again, today the purpose was, and so that ends agenda item C under 7, under other issues. I do want to also, just in terms of announcements, for our new board members, is to, Tasha, I don't know what's going on with UGA in terms of development authority training, but we definitely need to get our new members through.
Yes.
If as soon as that opens up, if it's, we need development. And then those of you who have not had your advanced training, you need, so if you've already had the basic training, you need to go back to UGA and get the advanced training. It's so important that you have this knowledge if it's available, because it will help you to understand the contracts and just what we do as an authority. And I'm hopeful that if we have the Savannah this year, that we're able to go, because that's another very important meeting. And it's not just the meeting itself and the things that we learn, but it also is the being able to be together to share, what helps a board, any organization, to be effective. You don't have to be best friends, but just as you get to know people and form some relationships, we begin to understand how certain members respond, and we begin to consider all perspectives as we're making our decisions. So I wanted to say that. And then the last thing is, in the way of announcements, our city is opening up for in-person meetings on July 19th, I believe, or somewhere therein. So do we want to have our August meeting in person, or are we going to continue online? So I'd like to just hear from the board in terms of what's your, and then Artie, maybe if you just want to stop us, is it possible for us to have an in-person meeting before we even consider it?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. An in-person meeting, of course, the city council would be, I guess, the jurisdiction, since they're opening up to in-person meetings on the 19th. Okay. I feel that it's possible that we can open up the in-person meetings. Yes. The thing is that where do you want to have those meetings? Do you want to have them at the city of College Park? Are you looking to try to do them at the GICC again? That's probably going to create a little more expense. The GICC and they've always allowed BIDA to have meetings at the GICC for free. But when it comes to the audio visual, when it comes to the microphone use, when it comes to food, all of those things are conducted by private entities, and we pay them whatever it is. So all of a sudden, your meeting goes from, you know, what we might be paying for this meeting, which is probably $300 to $400 per meeting, to a couple $1,000 per meeting at the GICC. So I just need to know what your preference is. And also, does everyone feel comfortable in being in in-person meetings? I'm not sure if everybody's been vaccinated, but that's something else I think that needs to be considered. Even though you may be vaccinated, that's not 100%. You know, you can still, you know, be infected. So I'm open, but this is a kind of a decision for you guys to decide amongst yourselves, along with the city council's feedback on, you know, it's okay to go ahead and open things up.
So I guess that being said, perhaps we should schedule our next meeting to still be held virtually, so that even the city council can make a determination whether, if need be, if it needs to go there, and there's still some, but we can begin to discuss. You brought up some important things, and I think that we still need to be wary of the budget. And if we're going to go back to in-person meetings, maybe perhaps we can, you know, we've met before in the council chamber, you know, we've met there. And if there was food involved, I went one time and we had the Chef Lowell just gave us a to-go box and we took it home with us. And you know, again, we just want to be I think that all of us want to be cost effective. So even if we couldn't have food, but the point is, when do we want to begin meeting, and how can we do that safely, and how can we do that economically, where we are not, because we still are in the COVID. It may not feel like a pandemic, but we're still there. You know, we haven't come out. So if anybody else would like to kind of share on this, but I think we'll probably revisit this again at our August meeting.
Yeah. I think we need to just wait and see what happened with mayor and council, see what happened with their meeting, and then we can move forward from there.
Because if we go, question two, if we decide to meet in person, are we still going to be broadcasting this virtually on Zoom?
I would say that we would not be virtual. We would not be broadcasting virtually.
Yeah, because then that's incurring another cost. Right. And that's what I was just saying. That's more money. So it doesn't even make sense to meet in person if we're going to do Zoom. Okay. So the council meetings beginning the 19th will not be on Zoom. They will be entirely
in person.
Live.
Well,
okay.
Actually, they will be online, but they will not. I don't think that they're going to be via Zoom. It's going to be something else. But I'm not sure. I know that there's a lot of work that's going on in council chambers right now, so that it is wired for Mercedes. Why don't you share for birthday girl?
And we almost finished, Mercedes. This is it.
The council meeting will be able to be aired on YouTube and on the College Park station, but not on on the Facebook station. But it won't be interactive the way that it is now. In the council chamber, we have put plexiglass between each council person. And for the department heads, they will only be showing up if they have something on the agenda. If not, they are required to listen in so that we can get council a answer to any questions as soon as possible.
Okay. Well,
that might be an idea for us to meet in council chambers, because we meet the second Thursday, right? If it's available, I mean, then we would have the plexiglass.
The issue is that we have a 7-member board and they have a 5-member council. So not everybody's going to be covered. When we use the times that we have met in council chambers, if you remember, we just sat next to each other, and the 7 of us. So that's an issue. So
okay, if there is a desire to meet in the council chamber, we can discuss outside, because I think it can work, and I just have to show you.
Exactly.
All right. So we will begin working on it. This, you know, but we are going to meet August. I don't have the date in my brain. The second Thursday in August, we will meet, and we will see what's happening, how things are going with council, and we'll just continue to keep our eyes open. our eyes and ears. Okay, well, at this time, this concludes all of the business for our July 8th general session meeting. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion from the, do I need to take a
So
motion?
moved,
Yes,
Tanya.
so
Yes,
moved.
you do, okay. I'm so used to executive session, okay, and second it. Those in favor of ending this meeting now, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Y'all have a wonderful, safe day, evening. Mercedes,
Happy birthday, darling.
happy birthday to you again. So don't even think about us tomorrow, okay? Don't answer your phone. All right, bye-bye.
You all
Good
very
night,
much.
everyone.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.